Hi, this is Steve here in Bellevue. This is Shopsmith Mark IV 7520 Live, episode number 2, using stop collars. Some of you may have watched yesterday when I tried to do this, and I really messed up, so that's why I'm redoing it again here today. So I've tested it out ahead of time, and your chat should be popping up on my screen just fine. Dottie's behind the camera there. When you have your questions, she's going to read them to me, and I'll answer your questions and give you your answers to you the best I can. So if you're watching, I'd appreciate it if you'd go on the chat, just put in your first name and where you're from. And you don't have to say anything other than that. It just gives me an idea how many people are on and where you're from. And then, of course, later, if you have a question, please just put your first name and then your question so that I can call you out by name when I answer questions. So using stop collars, I have a Mark 7 set up over here, and I've got a Mark 4 set up over here in vertical drill press position. And all of you remember that when you got your new machine, you got 2 of these stop collars that were on your tailstock. And some of you probably have removed one of those to use either on your main table or on your fixed extension table. And I recommend that you don't do that. I recommend that you leave both your stop collars on your tailstock and just buy some more. Buy 2 more for the fixed extension table and buy 2 more for your main table. And the reason I say that is because when you have this in here, there's play. And so that's why you want to have both of them so that you don't get that play going to side. The same thing on the others. So when you set up this tailstock, set it up with both stop collars on there so that when you take it off and put it back on, it's going to be dead on. You're not going to have any misalignment whatsoever. So some of you already probably are using stop collars on your machine. And some of you have probably never used stop collars on your machine because you didn't know how and you didn't know what they were best used for. So the first example I want to go through here is on the table saw. I've got this set up for cutting some 3/4 inch thick stock. And most of you, some of you may know this, but a lot of you don't know this, that there is on the side of your upper saw guard and riving knife, here on the side, there's this line that's engraved here. I'll put this pawl up out of the way here so you can see that. So Dottie,
They can see it.
okay. So there's an etched line in there. Okay, that's there for a reason. It's to tell you when you have the proper projection for your teeth above your stock. So when you're feeding it through here, you want to have at least 3 teeth gullets above here so that you get the proper clearance for doing sawdust removal. And so if you have that, then that'll enable these teeth to pull the sawdust down through and also keeps you from having burning. So if you see on here, when I put this stock through the pawl, okay, the line, you can't see it, but I can. The line is right where this stock is. And so that's when I know that I have it at the proper height. Okay. So the reason I tell you is that, so I have this set here. So when I'm doing table saw operations and I want to change my table height because I want to either do a shallow groove down the length of a stock or a dado across the stock or a rabbet in the edge of the stock where I'm going to make this shallower. And then later I want to come back and do some more through cuts, I can set a stop collar so it'll come right back down to this setting where I have it right now. And I have here on the front and the back a stop collar. Dottie, you don't need to move in the calendar because I'll pull this down. But here's this stop collar here, right here, which I normally keep up at the top. And I also have one in the rear. It's the same thing. So Dottie's not going to come around the back with the camera. I'll just show you the principle up here. What I do on the back side is I put this stop collar all the way down tight. So now when I change my height, and I've got this on here now, so I'm gonna take off these extensions so I can easily do that table up and down. So here's another little hint. I normally just keep my extension inside my main table here. It just simplifies life doing that. So I normally just keep it like in here. So let's say I'm going to adjust my height up to, let's say up to here for doing a dado or a groove or whatever. When I'm done, all I have to do is let it drop down to the stop collar, and it's right back at my same identical setting that I had for doing through cuts. And if you notice here over on my fixed extension table, I've done the same thing there. So that when I've got this connected, or when I want to come back to it, if I need, say for example, I need to take this table off for whatever reason, and then I want to come back later and do some more through cuts, I've got my stop collar set here to come straight back to the same setting I was at before, and these are going to go straight in there, perfectly aligned, and I can set it up very easily. So that's why I like using stop collars both on the main table and on the fixed extension table. Now, the other thing I like about the stop collars to use is, say I want to set up for a precise depth of cut. So for example, I'm doing I need to have a depth of cut of exactly, let's say I want 3/8 of an inch. Exactly 3/8. I don't want it to be a hair over, I don't want it to be a hair under. Okay? With the stop collar and these step blocks, now these have to be made by Veritas, and I like these particular ones because I can use this one, which gives me 3 inches, 2 inches, or 1 inch, exactly there. And then I have here a whole set of others. This is a 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch. These go in, let's see what it says on here. Yeah, 3/4, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, and 1/16. Then they have another completer set here that'll get you the rest of them, which will get you so that you can do in 32nd of inch increments. So they have one here that is 32nd of an inch. So for this example, I'm going to do here, we say we want to do 3/8. So let's find my 3/8 spacer here, which is, let's be over here. Here it is in this box. Let's see here. There's 3/8 right there. Okay. So to do that, I will take, and this one here, remember I got one on the back side already, so I can go ahead and move this one. So I'm going to use this one up here to set my 3/8 depth. So I'm going to take and put the table up here. I want to do it until that tooth is just barely scraping the underside of that stock. Now, once I have it there, now I'm going to use a spacer block with the stop collar. Stop collar will go now here between the carriage and the stop collar. Tighten down that stop collar. Now I can pull that block out, and now that's going to drop exactly 3/8 of an inch when I just drop it like that, and there we are. So that gets me my exact depth of cut. Now, let's say for some reason, after I do my test cut, that, maybe I was just a little bit, um, I didn't pay that much attention to detail when I did it, and I end up being off by 64th or 32nd. Or let's say it's even less than the 64th or 32nd. Well, these blocks are only 32nd is as small as I can do. Then my next option is I will get an ordinary set of playing cards and use these. And so you can put however many you need to in there. And I measured a while back to see what the actual thickness is. I forgot what it is. I've got another video where I go into that. But in any case, if I need to drop this, just a hair more, then I can take the playing card and put that in the space there. Do it, and now it's going to drop it just that hair more when I drop it in. So, and if this is not close enough, then after that I'll use three sheets of regular typing paper. I did measure 3 sheets of regular typing paper is the same thickness as one of these cards, and so that's what I do doing that. Then let's see. I'm going to let's look at the whiteboard up here. See if I've missed anything up to this point. Cover the tailstock. I've covered fixed extension table. I've covered main table. Okay. There's 2 different types of stop collars. There's the fixed. That's the ones that come with your machine. Okay. This is the fixed kind. And the other kind is the adjustable. Now, Shopsmith makes this adjustable stop collar. Okay. So if you use the adjustable stop collar, then you don't need the setup blocks. Because this one is, if you look and see on here, it's increment in here's a thousandths, each line's a thousandth of an inch. All right. And down on here, these lines are 128th of an inch apart, each of these lines down here. And if you need it in metrics, got down here, in metric settings down the bottom here. All right. And so to use this in place of those, and I'm going to show you here using this over on the drill press mode because it's a little bit easier than what I have set up here on the table saw. But it'll work equally well on table saw mode as it will over on the drill press mode. All right. So the example I want to show you here over on drill press mode, and I've got over here on a Mark IV, is, for example, let's say I'm drilling two rows of holes, and I got a picture up there on the whiteboard. Okay, I'm doing 2 rows of holes down the stock, and let's say I want the exact space in between those rows of holes. I need those center of those holes to be exact. Now, sure, you could take a paper and a pencil and a ruler and draw that and try and get this position the best you can. But if it really needs to be precise, then this method I'm going to show you will get you the precision you need. And so let's say, for example, I have already set up my machine. I'm doing my row of holes at this particular spacing here. And now I want to have another row of holes over here that is, for example, the thickness of a piece of stock apart. And I want that to be that distance. So if this is my piece of stock that I'm want it to be apart, what I want is that row of holes to be centered there and the other row of holes to be centered over here. Well, if you come over on the backside, Dottie, I've got set up stop collars on here on the post. I've got one set on each side of the carriage here. So we just added another stop collar over here. So what I've done here is this stop collar is all the way up against the carriage to mark where I have it currently. And now I want to move it a fixed distance. I just loosen this handle, pull that over. I'm going to put that in there, lock the handle. Okay. And now I'm going to take the other stop collar here, and we'll put it on that side of the carriage. And now my second row of holes is here. If I want to return to the first row, for example, I say I've got multiple pieces that I'm doing here, okay? And I need to go back between the two settings, I can do that. Now, I said that I was going to show you how to use the adjustable, and this particular setting, let's say, for example, that once I say do my test piece and I do my holes, I find that I'm off, just a hair, okay? That's where this will come in. So I take the adjustable stop collar, and you want to make sure when you put it on, this is the one that'll be fixed where the Allen screw is here. This is going to be out on this side of the post. So we'll put this on here. So I'm going to start it. What I'm going to do here is I will start with it set at, I'm going to have the A lined up with the 0 there is what I'm going to do. All right. Now, I'll put this on here. And I'll have I'm going to put it against there. Okay, now this is where it is now. Okay. Now let's say I find that I need to move it a little bit. All right. I'm going to pull that back. I turn this dial. Let's say I want to move it 128th of an inch. Okay. I turn, whoops. Let's start this again here. All right, here. A0. I just turn that right there. I have just moved it 128th of an inch. All right, is what I've done. But let's go back to real life example. In the real life example, I've got it here. I did my holes and I found out they're off a little bit. Okay, we're not going to move this. We're going to leave this alone. We're going to move the table back a little bit, and now we will rotate this 128th of an inch. Now we'll move the table back. And now this setting of the table has been adjusted by 128th of an inch. So that's how you use the adjustable one. So it's up to you which one you like to use and get comfortable using. I have both of them because there's different applications that one shines over the other. I personally find the step blocks to be a little bit quicker for me, but whichever one works for you is just fine. So this is all I plan to cover on this live session. If you have any questions, Dottie will read them to me now.
I don't see a single one.
No
You have
question.
7 people signed in, 6 not me.
Okay, so how many signed in?
Nobody. 7 people are logged on, but nobody signed in.
7 people are logged on and nobody. Okay, so those of you who are logged on, if you just at least put in the chat your name and where you're from, I'd appreciate that. That just gives me some idea where you're all from. And
Somebody just signed off.
so somebody just signed off, and so I'll just wait another minute or so here and see if anybody else has anything to say, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, well that's it for this this live session. The next one will be in a couple more weeks. So thanks for watching. See you later.